You did everything right. You saved money. You avoided risks. You tried to be responsible. And yet, it still feels like you're falling behind. Every month feels tighter. Prices keep rising. Your savings barely grow. And slowly, you start asking yourself a dangerous question. Am I doing something wrong? But what if the problem isn't you? What if the advice you trusted your entire life is the exact thing keeping you poor? And this lie is worth over $1 trillion. Since childhood, we're taught one simple rule: save your money. Your parents say it, teachers say it, banks say it. Put your money in the bank. Be careful. Don't take risks. And honestly, it sounds smart. You work hard. You earn money. You save a little every month. Slowly, your bank balance grows. And that feels safe, because safety feels good. Humans like certainty. We like knowing our money is protected. But there's one problem. That advice was created for a completely different world. A world where houses were cheaper, food was cheaper, education was cheaper. Back then, saving money actually worked. But today, the game changed, and most people never noticed. Let's say you save 1,000 rupees today. You feel proud. You think you're moving forward. But while your money sits quietly in the bank, something else is happening in the background. Prices are moving, silently. Every single year, things get more expensive. Food, rent, electricity, fuel, almost everything. This is called inflation. And inflation is like a silent leak in your wallet. You don't notice it immediately, but over time, it drains everything. Imagine filling a bucket with water. Now imagine there's a tiny hole at the bottom. At first it looks fine, but slowly, the water disappears. That's exactly what inflation does to your money. And here's the scary part. Most savings accounts grow slower than inflation, which means even though your number in the bank gets bigger, your actual buying power gets smaller. You think you're saving money, but in reality, your money is shrinking, quietly, year after year. Now here's where it gets even worse. When you put money in a bank, you probably imagine it just sitting there safely. But it's not. Banks use your money. They lend it to other people. They invest it. They make profits from it. Your money is constantly moving because the financial system understands one important rule. Money grows when it moves, not when it sits still. But while banks use your money to make more money, what do you get in return? Almost nothing. Maybe 3%, maybe 4%, sometimes even less. Meanwhile, inflation keeps rising. 5%, 6%, sometimes more. And that difference changes everything. Because if your money grows slower than inflation, you're actually becoming poorer every year, even if you're saving. And most people don't realize this until it's too late. They spend years working harder, saving more, cutting expenses, but somehow financial freedom never comes. Because the system changed, but the advice didn't. Now let's look at two people. Both earn the same salary. Both work equally hard. Both start with the same amount of money, but they make one different decision. The first person saves everything. They avoid risk completely. They keep all their money in the bank, and emotionally, it feels safe. The second person thinks differently. They still save money, but they also invest part of it. Slowly, carefully, long-term. Not gambling, not chasing quick money, just steady investing. Now fast forward 10 years. The first person still has savings, but inflation ate away a huge part of its value. The second person? Their money started growing on its own, because investing uses something incredibly powerful: compound growth. And compound growth is almost like magic. At first, nothing exciting happens. Growth feels slow, tiny, almost invisible. But then, time starts multiplying everything, and suddenly the gap becomes massive. Not because one person was smarter, not because one worked harder, but because one understood the rules of the system. The financial world rewards money that moves, That's the truth nobody explains clearly. Saving money is important, but saving alone is not enough anymore. And this is the trillion-dollar lie. People are told that saving money alone leads to wealth. But for most people, it doesn't, because money sitting still loses power every year. Now, this does not mean saving is bad. Savings matter. Emergency funds matter. Safety matters. But if all your money only sits in a bank forever, inflation slowly works against you. You need balance. Some money for safety, some money for growth. Because the goal is not just to protect money, the goal is to make it grow faster than inflation. That's the difference. And once you understand this, you stop playing defense forever. You stop thinking only about saving, and you start thinking about building assets, building investments, building long-term growth. Because rich people don't just work for money, they make money work for them, and that changes everything. The truth is, most people are not poor because they are lazy. Most people simply followed outdated rules in a completely different economy. And once you realize that, you start seeing the system differently. You stop asking, how do I save more money? And you start asking, how do I make my money grow? That single shift in thinking can change your entire future. Because if your money never grows, you'll spend your whole life chasing it. But once your money starts working for you, everything changes. And now, you know the truth.